We started out with saying at the beginning of the course, love is a feeling, marriage is a commitment, and a relationship is work. And so the question is, what is the work of a relationship? So I want to talk to you about what is it we need to know to sustain a loving relationship, to sustain pleasure in a relationship. One of the things we need to think about is what is the attitude we are bringing to our relationship. What kind of frame of reference do we have? And for that, there's a story that's told about a man that was walking along and he saw a building under construction. And he went up to the first bricklayer he saw and he said, "What are you doing? Can you tell me what you're doing?" And the bricklayer looked at him and said, "I'm building this goddamn fucking wall and I can't wait till it's 4 o'clock and go home and get drunk." And so he went up to the next one and he said, "Can you tell me what you're doing here?" And he said, "I'm building a very solid wall. And every brick is going to be the exact distance from every other brick, and this wall is going to stand for 1,000 years. So he went up to the third one and he said, "Can you tell me what you're doing here?" And this one looked at him and said, "This is the start of my cathedral." And so when you think about what you are building in your relationship, or what you want to build in your relationship, you have to think about the attitude you're bringing to it. And you also have to think about, if you want to build a cathedral and your partner wants to build a gas station, you are either going to pump gas in the cathedral or you're going to pray in the gas station. And so one of the things we have to look at has to do with what are the differences between us. What are the places where we connect and what are the places where we don't? What are the sources of pleasure in a relationship? And we've talked at other times about the pleasure scale, which is in the beginning of your notebook. It's in, again, at the end. But the main pleasures of a relationship are the pleasure of sharing ideas, the intellect, the pleasure in talking to each other about anything. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's if you enjoy it. And so you may want to talk about football, or you may want to talk about transcendental meditation. The idea is if there are ideas you like to talk about, and you feel you can connect with each other because you're interested in what each one has to say. And the other is the emotional connection. And whether you can confide feelings, whether I can tell you what is my emotional truth and know that you want to know, and whether you can tell me. And then we get to sensuality, which is the pleasure of closeness, and it includes bonding. And then we get to sexuality, which is more passion and lust and intensity. And then we get to shared activities and friendship and trust. But whether there are things that we can share with each other that we enjoy, and then there is what have we built together, or what can we build together? Because sometimes you could have all of these and not be able to build anything together. You might love someone for your whole life and not be able to live with them. Maybe one of you has to live in Alaska and the other one has to live in, in Florida. I mean, one's allergic to cold weather and one's allergic to hot weather. And so, can you build anything together? Or what have you built together? And for some, you've built a lot together, but you either didn't have these or you had some and you lost it. And then there's another thing we've discovered, which is if any one of these goes remarkably down, all the others are in danger. That if I can't share with you what's in my mind, then maybe I don't want to talk with you about my feelings either. And then maybe I don't feel very close to you and I don't want to snuggle or cuddle or bond. And then I don't want to have sex with you either. And pretty soon I don't want to do anything with you. And so in a way, the pleasure scale is like a barometer where we look at it to see where are we in our relationship. Because if any of them are seriously down, then all the rest could be in trouble. And so we look to sort of see where we are in terms of the pleasures of a relationship. And then we look at our assumptions. It's the attitude, our assumptions. And our assumptions, well, in your book we have the laundry list, and now I have this, love notes. But these are all the assumptions that we have. And so the more that are true, the more your relationship is going to be sabotaged. Now, if I believe that any time you're upset, I should be able to fix it, and I don't know how to fix it, I can't fix it. And so I feel bad about myself because I believe I should be able to. And so whenever you're upset, I distance from you. Then what happens is you don't feel cared about. What happens is whenever you're upset, you have not only what you're upset about, but the fact that I'm distant and maybe I'm mad at you. And so if you want to poison a love relationship, that will do it. All of these assumptions are erroneous. And so to think through what is it that I'm assuming that is sabotaging what I could have with you becomes part of the work of a relationship. What are my allergies? What's my revolving ledger? What am I assuming? Because, you know, most jokes are based on assumptions. And I've told a lot of jokes here. In fact, part of my problem today, I just said to Bill, did I tell this one? Or didn't I tell that one? Because I don't want to tell you the same ones. But there was one that happened that was really, this one that Ann started to tell last night. And it's funny because both of them are about Morris, where we were in one of these groups, and there was a woman who was in role play talking to her mother. And she came out with an expression that I had never heard. It was AMF
yo-yo.
Yo-yo. AMF yo-yo. Has anybody ever heard that one?
I heard AMF, but not the yo-yo.
I've heard AMF too.
AMF yo-yo. Okay? And so she said this to a person who was playing her mother. Morris was sitting next to a woman in this workshop who was a nun. Start with that. And he didn't hear what this first woman had said. So he turned to the woman who was a nun and he said, "What did she say?" And what the nun repeated was exactly what AMF yo-yo means. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Adios, motherfucker, you're on your own. And so this nun said this to Morris, and you could have seen him turn purple.
Personally.
He took it very personally. That's right. Anyway, assumptions. They can be very funny and they can be very tragic. That I assume, I mind read, I assume that I know what you're thinking. I assume that I know the way it should be. I assume that I know and I don't check it out. And I don't tell you what's inside my head. And you, based on not knowing, react in a way that chances are doesn't fit at all. And I react to your reaction. And pretty soon, you can't even find out what happened. You know, unless we become detectives, unless we start asking the questions, thinking, what's the puzzle here? What is going on? What happened with you when this happened for me? We can really lose each other very fast. And years can go by and we don't know what happened. And I think that one of the worst things we can do with each other is to leave each other with a mystery. I know that for me, my sense in pairs is that whether you choose to stay together or to part, at least you know what it's about. At least nobody gets left with a mystery where for the rest of your life you go through life saying why. And you go into any other relationship and you don't understand that one either because you don't know what one went wrong in the first place. And so my hope for each of you is that you will figure out the questions and ask the questions and be able to get the answers so that hopefully you can work out something that works better. And so that's got to do with assumptions. And then there's one more that I would like to show you, because all these things that I'm telling you are not your fault. You know, it's not a question of blame. It's a question of understanding. But only you can change it, given the information. Whatever happened in our conditioning happened. But we're the only ones who can find the keys to change it if we want to change the program, if we want to get out of the prison that used to be our fortress. And so there's one other way of looking that we call emotional levels of development. And so the emotional levels say that all of us are born as infants, and as infants, we need to be taken care of totally. Infants are totally dependent, and all that we can do as infants when we have needs, or when we don't get them met, is we scream. That's the way infants let you know that they need something. And if they cry and nothing happens, they can scream louder. And the thing is, for an infant, is that basically you are an object to take care of them. An infant is not able to be mutually concerned. You know, an infant needs what they need when they need it, and that's it. And so the motto of the infant, in effect, is I want what I want when I want it. When I want it. And you are there to provide it for me. And if I don't get it, I scream. And you're not supposed to have needs of your own. You know, your only need in terms of my awareness as an infant is to give me what I need, because I can't get it for myself. And so I want what I want when I want it is perfectly appropriate for the infant. It's that once in a while we get stuck there in terms of intimacy, and we relate to our partner at that level. And we say, I want what I want when I want it, and you're just an object to give me what I want, and you're not supposed to have any needs of your own, other than to be there for me. And when that happens, love does not survive. We cannot sustain a loving relationship when we're related to that way. At the adult level, this is a tyrant. There's only one person who is entitled to need anything. The second level is the child, child has more power than the infant. The child is able to talk, and the child is able to do things for ourselves. We can do things for ourselves. But what happens for us as children when we're disappointed, when we're hurt, when what we wanted to have happen doesn't happen? How do we deal with it? Any thought? Temper tantrums. Withdrawal. Run away.
Break my sister's thing.
Break my sister's things.
Break my brother's things.
Break my brother's things. Pout. Act out. And that really says it. It's that children, when they're upset, hurt, or disappointed, children act out their feelings. And it's up to you to figure out what it's about. Because children haven't taken pears, and they can't say, well, you know, I noticed that, and I assume that, and it bothers me when, and what I'd really like instead. Children can't do that. And so when children are upset, they act out their feelings. And if you don't happen to be watching at the right time, you may never know what happened. If you don't happen to look and pick up that look on their face when they disappear or they shut down, you may never know what happened. And that's the way we deal with things as children. Children do a lot of other things. I mean, they get sneaky and they lie and they steal. I mean, we act it out. That's the way kids have power. The way kids have the power to express their upset feelings is we act it out. And what happens is that if we get stuck at that level as adults and we act out our feelings because we can't talk them out, then the other one doesn't know what happened. The other one is left to guess, to mind read, to say, you know, I don't understand. And that's a lot of the I don't understand, because the truth is we are dealing with our hurt, our disappointment, and our resentment or our fear by acting it out and not talking it out. And so you can't sustain a loving relationship if, when you're upset, you act it out. You've got to be able to speak in your own behalf. And if you remember the positive versions over here of the stress styles, the blaming style in the positive version, the blamer is your ability to speak in your own behalf. And it doesn't have to mean that when I speak I say, it's all your fault, but it does mean I say, this is how it is for me. The I position. And the dialogue guide is really an instrument to use to explain yourself. And so if you get stuck at that level in your intimate relationship, the other one is left with a mystery. I don't know what happened. I don't know where you went. I don't know why you went. I don't know what you're upset about. And we lose each other. The third level is the adolescent. And the adolescent level is where nature is basically preparing us to fly away from the nest, to leave home. That nature intends that we leave home. And so nature is dealing with us in terms of independence and getting to where we feel that we could stand on our own feet. And so, unless you all remember real well, and maybe you will when I say it, the motto of the adolescent is, don't tell me what to do. How many are in touch with that? Don't tell me. And you know why don't tell me? Because if you tell me what to do and I do it, then I feel like you're treating me like a child. You know, it's children who get told what to do. And it's children who are obedient and compliant because they don't have much choice. And so if you tell me what to do and I do it, I feel like you're treating me like a child and I resent it. Or you tell me what to do, I can't do it. And for me, I remember when my youngest son turned 13 and I was having guests and I said, would you please make your bed? And he said, I could have done it if you hadn't told me. Of course, he wouldn't have done it if I hadn't told him. But still, the principle is if you tell me, then I feel like you're treating me like a child. And so for the adolescent who's getting ready to leave home and needs to feel that they can, that makes sense. But if we happen to be stuck at that level in terms of our intimate relationships, then the minute your beloved other says, you know, what I really need or what I really want is, and you hear it as, you're telling me what to do, and I can't do it, then what happens to feeling loved? You can't sustain a loving relationship if when I tell you what matters to me, you have to reject it or ignore it. I remember one of the knots that we have in the list was a woman who really was tied up in knots with this, and it was, if I tell you what I want, you won't do it because you resent feeling controlled. If I don't tell you what I want, there's a slim chance you might do it on your own, so I never tell you what I want. After a while, I don't even tell myself what I want. What do I want? I don't know. I'm confused. This is a really insidious one. And it comes out of the realization that if I tell you, you will reject it. Well, if you want to sustain a loving relationship, the only level that works out, the adult level, is the one that says that I will tell you how it is for me, and I will want to know how it is for you. And we will look to maximize the pleasure and minimize the pain. And so you will want to know what makes me feel cared about. You will want to know what makes me happy. And you will choose to do it not because I'm twisting your arm and you have to, but it's like watering a plant. You know, if you water a plant, it can thrive, and if you don't water it, it wilts. Caring behaviors, the things that make me feel cared about, you're doing them are what nurtures a loving relationship for me. And my doing the things that make you feel cared about, those are the things that nurture a loving relationship for you. And so the ability for mutual concern, empathy for your partner and how it is for your partner, and wanting to know is the key to sustaining pleasure in a relationship. And it is most crucial when there are problems to be able to say, tell me, I want to know, and I will tell you how it is for me, and we will look between the two of us to maximize what we can make good and to deal with the shit the best way we can. But there are two of us here, and if I leave me out, you will never know what it is that makes a difference to me, and if I leave you out, you're never going to feel cared about. So when we talk about the work of a relationship, we're talking about all these things. The tools that we have been giving you so far are the tools that it takes to nurture a relationship. And so whether we're talking about the temperature reading, whether we're talking about the dialogue guide, whether we're talking about the fair fight, whether we're talking about the emotional bond and being able to confide, whether we're talking about moving towards instead of away, all of this is part of the work of a relationship. And when we can get comfortable, then we could really live in a state of a level of pleasure that really gives a different meaning to the quality of life. I believe that when Dan said, fight for your happiness as though your life depends on it, because life without happiness is not worth fighting for. You know, life isn't precious. The quality of life is precious. The pleasure that you can bring to your life is precious. And because we are bonding creatures, and I hope all of you have a sense now of what it means to be bonded to other people, to be emotionally open and physically close. We are bonding creatures. And so learning to meet our needs for closeness to one or more other people is part of keeping the quality of life, making it what it can be. And when we do that, then we are free to be creative. When Anne wrote about creativity is up here. When we get our needs for bonding and closeness met, and the support that can give, then we can be free to be creative because we have that foundation. And so whatever we didn't learn, it's not our fault if we didn't learn it. It's probably not anybody else's fault that they didn't teach it to us because they didn't know it either. But it's up to us to change it because nobody else can change it. And if you choose to change it, realize you're doing it for yourself. You are not doing this for the other person. You are doing this for the pleasure that a good relationship provides in your life, can provide, will provide. And so whatever you choose to change, change it because of the pleasure it will add to your life. So that if and when life is over, and we never know when that will be, we can look back with the fewest regrets. We can say, I'm glad I didn't waste that time. Any questions? We're just going to start first with each of you naming who you are and your qualities, the adjectives describing you. And so you want to be sure that their qualities are the qualities you intend.
Okay, and if they got a different perspective, I tell them what I want
absolutely, absolutely, because they need to play it the way it is for you.
to do. Okay.
Okay? So, let's start here. These are Teresa's parts.
Okay.
Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 lovely parts. All resources of Teresa. So, Lale, you want to start? You are. I am.
I am the clown.
Yes. And I am. Let's have some adjectives for each one. In fact, if they're not on the board, I don't think they are. Why don't you give them their adjectives?
Well, you are really funny, and people laugh at you. You like Jackie Gleason. You have a lot of, what, me? You want a trip to the moon? You handle your anger a lot by humor. And Robin Williams, you
Sort
make
of
fun of
witty.
yourself and others.
A
You make
wit-
fun. When one part tries to get
If
the
I
boss,
don't
you
have
say,
words, I just act it out.
you say, you asshole, sit down, shut up. Yes.
So it's sort of a witty, sarcastic clown. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Carl, would you put those there? It's a funny, witty,
I'm
sarcastic.
gonna get
Yeah, just like Jackie Gleason. You know how he's hysterical.
play it out.
Okay. Okay. The next one is.
The survivor. Now you're a cross between Winston Churchill. We will fight on the beaches. We will fight on the land. We will never surrender. And Scarlett O'Hara, who says, "I will prevail.
I will prevail.
No matter what I have to do, I will prevail."
So that he's tough, eloquent. Is
And
that
he's
true?
flexible. He's
He's
just
tough, eloquent, and flexible.
and very much an adult.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
he
an
can
adult.
handle a crisis.
Okay.
He will survive.
Okay. So now, one at a time. An activist. Before you go into the next room to adorn yourselves, one at a time, stand up and say, "I am," and say the name of your part and the adjectives. Okay? So let's start.
I am Holly So Lightly, and I'm tough. I'm a street kid. I don't let anybody get in my way. I don't trust anybody older than me. And I'm here to take care of myself and do whatever I got to do that.
I am the entertainer part. I can perform, but I have fun with it. I sing, I dance, I just have joys.
I'm kind of a fat nerd. Really like to eat. That's how I get my friends.
Where are some ladies?
You can sing.
Well, that's good, because I can't.
Okay.
I am the Mamma Mia part. I love my children. I love eating with them and preparing and making sure they feel good and their stomachs are warm.
And have lots of feasts. You always want to
Yes.
plan a party.
Yeah, okay, I always want to plan the party and I want to make sure the food is delicious and that everybody is happy and feels good.
I'm spirit in touch with myth and legend.
And you're the Joseph Campbell.
I'm Joseph Campbell. But always remember my first name's Joe. There's a historical significance.
A user-friendly spirit.
I'm Mark Twain, and I'm here to tell you some stories about jumping frogs, boys on a raft,
Yeah.
my relatives.
I'm Bob Goulding, and Virginia's a theater. Now, Virginia's all right, but Mary's really my woman. And I'm here to help you get rid of all that crap from the past, and you really got to make a decision now, a redecision. It served you well in the past, but now you got to be the new you. And you got it, kid. You can carry it on.
I'm rat pellet. I'm a troublemaker. I'm going to get you smart ass, because I'll get you. I'm Lauren, and there's only one person who really knows what I'm like under certain circumstances.
What the group needs to do now is to go into the next room and begin to adorn yourselves for the parts that you're going to be playing. There are some costumes and whatever you can find that will place you into the mood of the part you're going to play. And then one at a time, you're going to come into the room, say who you are, and as you all assemble in the room, you're going to mix as if you're meeting at a party, a cocktail party, and you're going to begin to speak to each other from the role that you're playing and mingle and continue this process until I ask you to freeze. Okay? And then for the audience in the back, what I'm going to ask, since there are 9 of you there, I'm going to ask that 3 of you notice who are the natural allies in this cast of characters. 3 of you notice who are the saboteurs in the cast of characters. Who is it who will sabotage the intent of what Teresa may seemingly want, but will keep it from happening? And then the other 3, look to see what is the new arrangement, what is the new integration that needs to happen, which parts need to be modified, which parts need to be transformed or reframed in order to arrive at a coordination and an integration that fits better for the way Teresa would want it.
We're having a wonderful party this evening. We've got good food and good people, and they should be here soon. And my children are here, and where are they? Oh, here's one now. So good to see you. Can you say hi to all the nice people?
Yeah. Hi, I'm a little nerd. I just love to eat. I think looks so good. We can come over and do it together.
No. Save it for the cheese fondue. Here's a guest we don't know.
Mark Twain, here to look at things, write some things down, make some observations about these folks. You'll be hearing about them. You'll be hearing reading about them.
Mark, it's nice to meet you.
Hi.
Adams,
Glad to
welcome.
meet
We're
you,
partying at our
Teresa.
home.
Thank you.
Get some food.
Thank you. Thank you.
Come on, next.
Hi, Teresa Chow. How you doing, kid?
Hello, honey.
Great
Good
to
to
see
see
you.
you. Good to see you. How you been?
Okay, great. Is Mary over there?
Yeah.
She is?
See, for my
She
book,
looking? Is she looking?
who are you?
Oh my God.
Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm Mark Twain. Who are you?
Bob Gould.
Bob Gould.
Yeah.
All right. Hi, Bob.
Here I am. Here's the showgirl.
Here is the part. What can I sing for you?
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Somewhere over the rainbow. No, I want to do something else now. The fun part. Olivia and John. And dance and sing and fun.
That's a great part for you.
welcome
You know that
to
sharp
our
part
mom.
Welcome to our
of you? That is
Would you like
terrific.
to sing
That's
too?
good
Hi,
job.
Don.
You hold on to her.
You're comfortable?
Comfortable clear so I can perform.
Really beautiful. Really
So I can perform.
Really good. You're not shy.
No, I don't think so.
She's very sweet.
Let's just wait until each one is out, and then we'll start talking.
Are you calling my
Next, next, yes.
I'm Lauren. I'm a lady. The way that I truly am cannot be known except to one man under certain circumstances.
I am spirit, and I am. We are not flesh and blood. We are spirit. The flesh and blood is only to carry the spirit.
It's so hot in here.
not important.
He's really letting it all hang out, all right.
And you are?
The street kid. I'm here to tell you, there isn't an adult that can teach me anything. I teach myself.
I am the monk, the absorbed student of human nature. I read about myself and other people.
And you are?
I'm a rat talent.
Hey, I love you, kid. I love you.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. I'm going to spoil your fun.
I am Winston Churchill. They can fight us. All angles. From the sea, from the air, from land. We will not be defeated. God willing, we will win.
That's it. Okay, so start meeting each other at this wonderful cocktail party.
Well, no, you won't. No, you won't.
Basically, kind of humorous. I mean, don't you think? I'm kind of humorous.
Where's the food?
I agree with you. I agree with you. Life is kind of humorous, isn't it? We're all kind of clowns. Right down to it. Human being is a clown, right? You know, I got
Right where you are, and just one at a time, we're going to find out what's going on and who is mixing with who and how it feels. So right here we have the street kid. You are?
I'm the street kid. I don't mix. I don't mingle. I just watch.
Okay, what's happening over here?
I'm the performer. I don't want to interact. I want to sing and dance and play and laugh, if they'll listen to me.
No one's interested in spirit except for student. And we found something she's reading that I already know about.
Such bullshit.
You think you know it all? You jerk.
And I'm here to help because I know that Mary and I have the answers for all these parts.
Don't have
And
my
we can
answers.
really help.
Oh, God.
Can, kid.
No.
We'll talk.
Fuck you.
Well, I'm Lauren, and very quietly I tried to, under his jacket, put my hands down his pants. Winston? And he just wasn't having any.
We will conquer, no matter from what angle. We will defeat sensuality.
Who else?
It's shit!
Can't hold her balls up.
What's happening back there?
Well, I am making sure that everyone is having a good time, and there's a few that I'm a little worried about.
Listen to this one.
Like,
Figures.
Peggy. Oh, sure.
She doesn't think we can take care of ourselves.
Like the monk. I mean, you know, she's all by himself.
Uh-huh.
And Spirit doesn't have a lot of friends, so. And who crashed my party? You betcha.
Just serve the food, lady.
Sure.
What's happening
I'm
back
gonna let
there?
you have an
Don't forget, and
That's right. It's Look what it
So
did.
back there, shh, a minute, back in the way in the back, we've got the nerd and the mimosa tree secluded together.
And nobody noticed me except the nerd. Nobody likes me, and the only person who approached me is just somebody else that nobody likes anyway. Even Mama didn't notice me.
Well, why do you think she didn't notice you?
Nobody likes me. Nobody likes me. Nobody
There's a
notices.
good reason. Yeah, shit. She's shit. Why shouldn't she think somebody should notice her? Who are you kidding? You jerk, you shit.
I'll grow up back
Stay
there.
up in
Take
the
care of
tree.
yourself.
Cool it, cool it.
Okay, continue.
Up yours,
She will
up yours.
She will survive.
We gotta go out there.
Well, we have a two wrong with their way.
You don't want to go? It's free. I mean, it's free. Let's go home. Come on, let's just go home.
And the
Let's
conqueror.
just sweep the night out of here. Let's just go home. Let's go.
Cool it, cool it.
No, we've got to go now. Tomorrow's a busy day. Tomorrow's a busy day.
We will survive. I will survive. I will survive. I will survive.
Okay, but that's fine now.
I will survive. I will survive.
Tell me about that.
Okay, let's go through this once more and see what's happening. Over here, Churchill just bounced off the wall.
But I survived. No matter what, I survived.
I told him this party was going on too long. Survived too much.
So Churchill is being pushed hard by the
No
sexy
matter what,
woman.
no matter what, I will survive.
No, you won't.
Attacks
Survival
from all angles.
is being attacked by the clown and the sexy woman.
Right.
What's happening?
Full of hot air.
And by
Full of hot air. All of his ideals. Full of bullshit.
But he knows how to survive. He does know how to survive. That's,
Oh, we are. Not
Well,
even than we are.
well, we gotta
Come
stick
on.
together.
Let's
We
just
don't
go and
trust
get
people.
some
We don't
hot
trust
dogs.
people. We gotta stick
Sure,
together.
we'll get him.
You know what I
He's
have?
my idealist.
What I'd like
one at
to
a
say.
time, one at a time.
What I'd like to say here is that, folks up north think that folks down south are dull, kind of sleepy time down south, but this is one hell of a party. Now, these people are complex. I want you to know about what goes on underneath and behind and in and out, and these people are funny. They are funny people, they really are. They're kind of touching, though. It's all kind of touching. I'm getting it now.
You want a quote? I'll give you a
Yeah,
quote.
all right.
Life ain't nothing but one big shit sandwich, and it's always lunchtime.
Life is a shit sandwich.
And it's always lunchtime.
Open-faced or...
It's always lunchtime.
Here.
No matter what, we will survive.
Boy, this is a motley crew. We still haven't heard from some of those back there. What was happening with the rest of you back there?
I know, for me, as the hostess and the one who wants everyone to be having fun and having a good time and eating and enjoying, I felt terrible. I didn't notice the little mimosa.
Uh-huh.
But trying to bring her in, it's very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard.
Okay.
More people wanted to dance. I asked them and sang to them, and they joined me.
And they joined you. So you found some company. And how about for the nerd?
Nobody really wanted that much to do with me. I felt like my therapist over there could be sweet, and my mom could be sweet, and the mimosa girl could be okay with me, but everybody else, I was trying to get to my clown because I thought that if I could get with the clown, maybe.
She will be all right.
I will
I'm
be in
here.
charge.
I'm here. She will survive. She'll be okay.
And how about Joseph Campbell?
I'm trying to enlist support because I see some universal decadence occurring in part of the parts, and I'm trying to enlist support with Mark Twain and the therapist. It's working a little bit, but there's other people who are very distracting.
Okay, so let's ask Teresa up there how it feels watching these parts.
It's a one I'm saying. I'm saying most of the time. They're really interesting one-on-one, but to put them all together is mind-boggling. I love each part. I don't know. I don't know how in the world to put them all together.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm gonna help her do that.
You're gonna help her do that.
I will help you. We will survive together.
Okay.
Let's unite.
So let's see what you can do now to see if you can integrate these parts. Let's see what you
My
have.
job is to help integrate these parts.
Okay, so
And
everyone.
maybe there are one or two we gotta get rid of and change. She's gotta make a redecision.
So let's see what can happen as you try to integrate the parts.
Right.
Okay, go on.
Well, let's get them together.
If you just rally around me, we will all survive. Come on, folks, come on.
I know.
From what angles? We will all survive. Unite.
Have a lot more fun.
We will survive, folks, no matter what.
I'm going to join. I know I'm going to join with. What? She's my kind
No
of gal.
matter what, we will survive. We will survive.
Human beings. Human beings are funny people, aren't they? Human beings are really funny people.
Holly.
So many good parts.
Human beings, we appear sort of to be all right, but
We will fight together.
kind of basically.
We will fight together. We will fight together so that we can survive. Come on.
Are you really gonna fight?
I'm only interested if you're going to fight.
We'll really cause trouble.
No matter what angle, we will survive.
Freeze! Just a minute. Let's see what we've gotten to happen so far. I see that Joseph Campbell has lost his hood. I see that. And I see that he's gotten a mimosa girl under his wing.
Got a limb.
Okay, so let's see what's happening. Each of you in turn say what's happening for you. Go ahead. Phil?
I feel very powerful, focusing the survival aspect, uniting all of you guys. Like I need to scream, I need to raise my voice. We will conquer, we will
One big guy
survive.
got up in the middle, and he thought he was hot shit, but nobody was really paying a hell of a lot of attention.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I decided that I would keep my man, but I would share him.
Oh.
She thinks she's hot shit.
And that's one way to survive, propagate, multiply.
Right now, I'm trying to work to get this group united.
All
We'll all
you
be
need is.
together. Hi there, Jackie. How you doing?
Where?
Come on, Jackie. Can you help me?
Let's just go have
These
fun.
are great people.
Too much work.
Bob Goulding's been trying to
resources in
use
this
his
book.
persuasive skills to bring in the clown and bring in everybody. And Winston Churchill has been trying to
Yes.
use his survival skills.
We will survive.
And he has joined with his woman, who has decided to share him with the group. But so far,
Thank you.
it still seems like sort of
They're
a
all
motley
just so
crew.
fucking serious. When are we gonna have some fun?
Give up on this guy. He doesn't have what it takes. Get your ass over here. We'll show you how to work.
Never.
We'll show you how to really live and survive.
Let's get raid.
Hey, show me how to live.
Spray
You
her
gotta
raid.
toughen up. You're winning.
Let's hear from Teresa. What are you seeing?
I
For
love
life,
Bob
yes.
Goulding because he thought he knew how to do it, and he heard the rat tell it. He said, "Show me how to live. How do you live?" And I love the clown sabotaging Goulding. You know, who just says it's so serious. And then I like Winston coming in and saying, "To survive, never drop your balls."
Never, never.
And then I love the showgirl in the midst of all of it singing somewhere over the rainbow. And the little nurse. I mean, I like all of them.
They got possibilities.
All right, well,
They got possibilities
how does it
for
look
real
to you
stories.
for what actually goes on in your head?
Exactly. I'll start being a leader, and the clown and the rat pellet and me just say, who do you think you are? You know, why?
Winston Churchill.
Yeah, what makes you think you know anything? And,
You got it.
yeah, I mean, you don't know anything. And, I mean, there's one of these omnipresent, you could say, at all times. I don't know one part that's really free.
You don't know one part that's really free.
I observe a lot, you know.
Okay.
I kind of float around all these people and they're damn interesting people, you know. I mean, you ever see such a cat? Look at them. What a hell of a story. This could make a hell of a story. You know?
Oh, come on.
Really good.
Okay, let's try one more time to integrate this group. Let's see what
We're
happens.
being attacked from all angles, folks. There's disunity in the kingdom. Come on, let's unite. Come on. From the air. Come on, let's move it. Let's get together. From all angles. Come on.
Okay, everybody get together.
We will win.
We're all
We will win, folks. We will win.
Maybe. One at a time. One at a time. Let's go around and just say what you're feeling and what it feels like for you the way it is now. What's happening?
I'm fucking frustrated.
You are frustrated.
Yeah.
The clown will not let you be.
No.
Okay?
No.
Given your best efforts, she is still going to be provocative.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you are kidding yourself. You are kidding yourself.
Right.
So the clown and rat pellet are sort of allies in being provocative. Mark, what's going on
Well, I'm
with you?
her story. I'm her story writer part. You know, who's kind of in charge of the whole storyline, and it was going kind of bad till we got this asshole down off the chair. You know, he was acting like he was supposed to run everybody and run everything and pontificating and all that stuff, and we got him down, and you know, he's warming up to her a little bit. You know, I'm happy with how this story's going. The clown is a real bite in the ass. You know,
Shut up! You can shut your talk even though I keep
funny.
it full of hot air.
Well, as long as we're all having fun and enjoying ourselves and your stomach is full and you feel good, then this is okay.
Then it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And Joseph?
Well, I got hooked up with the sensuous part, and I think I'm going to give up the spirit for flesh and blood again.
Okay. And the nerd?
Well, I don't feel as left out as I did. I kind of feel okay. It's being me. I kind of like having my food here and relating. I mean, I was just kind of watching everybody, and some of the parts came over and tried to be nice to me, and that made me feel like maybe it'd be okay just
And you're
to kind of be a
being
little nerd.
held by the spiritual part on one side and
And the
by
showgirl.
the showgirl on the other side, so that feels
Good.
good for you. Okay. And the showgirl, how's it for you?
Wonderful. I don't have to think about anything but fun, and I could entice most people to dance and sing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the most street kid.
Well, the way I figure it, this survivor really needs me. You know how to give a great fucking speech, and that's about it. So I'm gonna teach you how to fight, goddammit. So I'll look like I'm in, but I'm kind of out too.
But he needs
my ass.
your ass. Okay.
And
Okay.
he needs a little lower.
I'm Winston Churchill, and when I got
And
down,
where are your balls?
Good question. I've been
when I
asking the
got down
same
from
thing.
my fucking self-centeredness and came down to the level of the folks, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Get the smoke out of
I
my
feel
face,
that
Buster.
I feel I needed to connect with people around me to be effective. Just I cannot do it alone.
You need some help.
That's right. I cannot do it alone.
I tried to offer
Make some jokes.
You need
I tried to
me.
offer some resources.
No,
Tell
he
her,
needs
Rat, tell.
me. He needs
So
me.
Rat Pellet
You gotta
is
be
joining with
me.
Winston.
You gotta be mean sometimes.
Yeah, we'll roughen
in
them
life.
up a little bit.
You gotta be mean. You don't want to throw me out.
So the
Don't wanna throw
strengths
me
have
out.
all joined.
Sometimes you gotta be
Raquel, Winston,
mean.
and the street kid.
You gotta put a
And
face on
sensuality, yeah.
sometimes.
And
Her leg is all over my leg.
Yes. Okay. And the bookworm.
I try to offer resources to people, and Winston wouldn't listen to what I had to say about defense. And I was trying to
I
get
need defense.
this little girl and this one to try reading a book so they wouldn't feel bad about being alone. You don't really have to be in the party all the time. But some people just won't listen to the possibility there's a resource for them here.
Book is a little like a tree.
Like a joke.
Lighten up. How does that feel, Teresa?
Oh, I love her. She's right. Whenever
She's
anybody
right.
has trouble, she goes and gets a book. She has a resource. She's going to study about this,
Uh-huh.
no matter what it is, and she's going to, teach them how to do.
Okay.
You've
So
got
if you
to
would
crack a
come
joke, you
down
can't
here
get on
and be in the center of your parts, if you fan out a little bit just so that we could, well, let's go back. Let's go back so that we can really see who's here. Okay? And let's make a semicircle. A semicircle. And Teresa, we're going to put you in the middle.
Quiet.
Okay? And sort of fan around her. Okay, all right. And one at a time, you come and put your hand on her and say who you are and how you see yourself needing to integrate or be modified in order to make some kind of integration and coordination of your motley cast of characters. Okay? All right, so let's start right here. This is Robert Goulding, and what he is offering is...
I am offering you the opportunity to change your way. See, the way you've been functioning with all these different parts stood you in good stead. Each one served you properly at some time or another. Now it's up to you to decide, but you don't need that anymore. When you're a little kid, different stages, some of these are okay for you. Did you well?
But if
now,
I have you, I can make a redecision.
now I can help you make the redecision, but it's got to be your decision. You got to decide
Yeah.
what parts you want to keep, what parts you want to get rid of, and you might want to keep just a little smidgen of some of the other parts as a reserve. I don't know. So you can regulate all these parts. You can control them, or you can get rid of some of them if you want to. That's what you decide to do.
Oh, wow.
I think you're terrific. You're really
Thank you. You're terrific.
I'm tired. I gotta do all the work to make all these people less serious. They're all so heavy. I get so heavy with everybody, so...
Do I talk to them?
You could.
I love you, and I couldn't do without you. But it does get tiresome.
It is.
Yeah,
It is
there's some real serious parts.
Mm-hmm.
But you do have an indomitable spirit.
Yep.
Never do that. Also a smart ass, too.
Hi, honey. I'm Mark Twain, and your ability to take life seriously on the one hand, because people are really wonderful, and all your parts are wonderful. But I'm also your ability to say something's bullshit when it's bullshit, just to laugh about it, laugh about yourself, laugh about life, and see the real touching side of how humorous it all is and how good it is that we ain't so goddamn perfect after all. We're just wonderful in just being folks.
You stay close to the river. Like
Yeah,
Mom.
right. Stay close to the river. I'm your ability to stay close to the river. Yeah,
Get into that underground.
yeah, right.
I'm your Mama Mia. But you know what? It's hard. Sometimes you can't have fun. Not fun, but sometimes everyone doesn't feel good. As hard as you try, sometimes you have to get serious and get together and be a thinker or be a
survivor, but I want to know how you're feeling. Do you feel good?
When you take care of me, I do.
Is your tummy full?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
I'm your spirit. And I can... And I can see how chaotic and confusing it must be for you at times. And I can help you become much more centered and bring you down to a deeper level, to your underground stream, where it all comes together and makes sense.
Wow.
But you need time to just reflect and be quiet and think.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. It's okay to be a nerd sometimes. this is
A
long.
lot of time.
Yeah, as long as I just don't take over completely. Then it's okay sometimes to be this way.
You're a wonderful nurse. You think you might be going a little diet there.
Might be.
Trade in a bean sprout for
Yeah. These donuts are getting to me.
There's nothing like a donut.
This is two donuts.
A bean sprout will never taste like a donut, that's for sure.
I'm your bookworm, and I can be a resource to your therapist, to your spiritual side.
Well, I'd hug you, but I know you won't.
I'm not ready for it. The way I figure this, I've been your hula hoop all these years. Yeah, I've kept people out. I've protected you. I've taken care of you when nobody else would. Now, I'm getting a little older, a little bit wiser. I figure there might be some adults that could teach me some things. Might be. Maybe one. Maybe one. So I'd be willing to...
Who is it?
Oh, I think it's a toss-up between Winston over here and Bob over there. I don't know, maybe. They might have some good information, good insight. They might have some lessons to teach me that I haven't learned yet. So I'd have to, I guess, give that up.
I really value you. Watch my backside.
I will. I can still kick ass now.
On your touch, your pleasure, your sensation, but you know, you gotta get out
there sometimes. I love you because I don't get in trouble as long as I'm lying down.
Oh, I'm not going away. I'm not going away. I'm just saying that, you know, it's not so bad to share, and it's not so bad to have other pleasures and other touches, but we won't give up our special time.
Good. I really love you.
I need you. Go for it, Brad. I like you, Brad.
You know, I'm scared. All these high and mighty jazz. I'm scared you're gonna kick me out.
Oh, I know.
I know. But you know, they're pretty powerful. Don't forget about me. You know, don't ever, you need me sometimes. Don't forget about me. Because sometimes you need to be me. You know that?
Yeah.
Me.
First of all, I'd like you to give up smoking. Not because it's bad for your health, but there's a lot of smoke screen going on. And I know how that feels when I
I
smoke
can't
screen.
see you clearly?
Exactly. And I don't want you to lose the skills of leadership that I have. I'm trying to unite all the parts.
You had a tough time.
Exactly. That's why we're here. And also the skill of, I learned from what we did, being flexible. That maybe the best way to unite is to be flexible. That I need them, we need them to work together.
We do.
Yes, we do. That's one way we can win the war. And also to soften a little bit that we are not in the survival mode all the time.
That's a drag.
It is a drag, but we need to grow.
All right.
Right. Give up smoking.
Let's take a moment. Let's give the parts a hand. Come in the middle, and I want everyone to come and just put your hand on Teresa. Move in on her so she feels you. And you close your eyes. Just close your eyes and move in real close so that she really feels all her parts. Just feel your beautiful resources. Your power, your humor, your sensitivity, your sexiness, your lonesomeness in the tree, your nurturing part, your bookworm part, all your parts. Feel the beauty of them. And then as Teresa stands there with her eyes closed, I want the parts to very gently release your hold and move back to a seat on the floor. Very gently release your hold. Just move back. And take a seat. Now, in touch with all of your beauty, open your eyes.
Can never thank all of you enough. I wish I could really take you one by one and have a conversation with you at a time. You really, you know me, and you were very authentic in the parts you played. And I don't want to leave any of them out. I like them. I mean, maybe we need to tell Rat Pellet to calm her down a little bit. The street kid or the little nerd or something, but I like them all. Thanks.
Really beautiful.
Thanks. Thanks to all of you very much.
Thank you.
Do
it all for you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mama. Happy birthday to you.
Now, if you will sit down right here, and we're going to hear from our viewing audience and their observations about what happened over here. So, Cardi, do you want to start?
Three of us, I think we were looking for the natural allies.
Yeah.
They were really hard for me to see. And I picked up first on the Mimosa Girl and the Nerd very early on. They seemed drawn to each other as if they had no other choice. I mean, there was just no one else available to them initially. And the Rat Pellet and Street Kid seemed to have some affinity for each other. And then the Clown got connected with the Rat Pellet. And those are all the natural ally associations that I wrote down. There were others that were constructed or developed or whatever, but I kind of drew the line at what I could see as natural.
Okay.
And so we didn't work collaboratively. There were three of us doing the same thing, so I think our observations are independent.
Joe?
Carter and I agreed on the nerd and the Moas girl and the rat pellet and the street kid. I sort of paired Winston with Joseph Campbell. They both claimed to have wisdom to share. And since Goulding was
That's the knife over there.
was trying to help things out, I paired him and her with the hostess. The clown seemed naturally to go with the entertainer, and finally the student and Mark Twain seemed to go together.
One thing we found really difficult, we decided pretty quickly, like the rat pellet was a sabotager, but a couple of them we had a hard time really deciding. Like the clown, for instance, we had difficulty because on the one hand it was like this person was the humorous side, but then it took a while into the presentation before we finally decided that the clown was a sabotager because she couldn't take anything, serious, and it was a way of denying maybe what was really going on.
Yeah, there was a point, a long point, while this was going on, when it seemed to me that they were all sabotagers. And then, at the end, it seemed to me that they were all allies and resources for the wholeness that is Teresa. And I think what I'm aware of now is that they are all potentially trouble, given an inappropriate circumstance, and they are all potentially great strengths and resources for Teresa, given an appropriate circumstance.
All I found is there's no one particular person, like as part that says, want to sabotage the whole body. But there's a point that when any one of those parts want to stand up to unite the other part, the other parts are very united to cut that part down. I think that's a play for a time for each part to come up without getting cut down, so that each part can have a chance to express itself.
Thank you. Okay, and so the integrationists. Suzanne?
Well, it was very interesting. I saw the rat pellet, although that was really the chief saboteur through the whole thing, as being almost like her backbone in a way, if you could reframe what her part was. That you really don't want less of the rat pellet, you just want the rat pellet to be giving you more accurate information about what's going on. And that was really kind of interesting, and she was a natural ally with the street kid, but maybe that was not such a wonderful alliance because there's not a whole lot of clarity. If you could get the rat pellet together with Goulding or with Joseph Campbell or with Churchill, then it would make a whole lot more sense, and you could own your power without being torn down every time you would start to do something. And she would start to tear you down. Well, who do you think you are doing that? That if she were actually your critical thinking part in power, that it would be a really helpful part for you to have. The clown also needs to understand, that's a wonderful part to have, and I've loved that in this last week, your clown side. And I can see where that plays the same role as the rat pellet in terms of when it comes in inappropriately, tearing you down or making fun of what you're doing. And when it's appropriate, it really gives you a light side that makes you a delight to be around, and it really helps the messages that you have to give to people come across more easily in many, many cases. So that's really nice. Those were the two chief things that I saw needed integration.
They're modified.
If modified or used in the right places or allied with the right parts of yourself, really acknowledged and pulled in.
Yeah. Great. Okay.
Well, it's interesting that you saw Rat Poet as the backbone. I saw the Street Kid as your backbone, and I kept wanting to pair the Street Kid with the clown to give the light side of you a little bit more strength. When the clown said, "I'm tired," and I just thought, I want energy going there. I also, I don't know about allying the two of them. I think that the clown also could give some softening to Rat Pellet a little bit, and so that the three of them together, in a sense, might be some sort of a core.
Could be fun.
And could be more fun.
I thought the parts that were most difficult were the rat pellet, the street kid, the kid on the tree, and I like the alliance of Churchill with the rat pellet and the street kid, because Churchill can teach a lot. I mean, he is a tough ass, but he is restrained. I mean, he thinks about things, and so he can use that kind of power, and he can teach them how to use that power, you know. And maybe he can have a little help from Goulding, or perhaps. The clown, it's a wonderful part, but I agree with Suzanne, it needs to be more appropriate. And it's the joy in you. You have a lot of joy, and somehow letting it be more appropriate, having more fun in your work and in your life in a way that's moderated. The other kid, I felt like the kid in the tree got a lot of help, and certainly you have a lot of nice parts that can help this secluded part of you. That was that? Yeah, the mimosa tree girl. I think she also likes being alone, and that's nice. And I like the monk helping her. It was very nice being with her, and some of the other parts. I felt that kid can get a lot of support from some of your parts.
It really brings a clarity, you know. I don't know which part of this is now, but, you know, there's a part of me saying, well, you know, that isn't really you. But, I mean, these are really me. And
all of them.
All of them. And I just a strong feeling that I value each one. I really do. And I need each one. And if I can work on the alliances that you all very eloquently explained, I think I could be more congruent and more, it's like being congruent, but more, not at peace, that's too, just more holy Teresa. You know, whether anybody liked, approved, or fully alive here today. And you did a beautiful job, each of you did. And you did too, in orchestrating it, knowing how to get to it.
Thank you. Just be aware of the 5 steps we've gone through with the parts. Awareness, where we named them. Acceptance, where we owned them. Transformation, coordination, new integration. Those are the 5 steps. And in this marvelous, fun exercise, we get to do all of those and arrive at a new sense of the richness of ourselves, the complexity of ourselves, the power of ourselves. And I am sort of affirmed again in why this is my most favorite exercise in the whole course. I love this exercise. I want you to be aware that all of the parts start out good. Every part that we have. Even parts that later on seem in some ways that we might label bad. If you look at what those parts want and what those parts need, they are always understandable, they are always positive. Because all of us start out needing love, attention, response, encouragement. Our needs are good. There's nothing wrong with our needs. And all of the parts that we develop are either in behalf of expanding our lives and enjoying life, or protecting ourselves, or fighting what we have come to see as the enemy. And so every part that we have is understandable, and every part can be a resource. Every part can be used in a positive way, as well as the possibility of a negative way. There's a part where you could see it positive or negative. If you have a wonderful feeling towards somebody, you could see that as positive. If that person is somebody else's husband or wife, you could see it as negative. Every feeling we have, every part that we have, can either be used in positive or negative ways. And so some of what we're looking at is how can we accept, how can we become aware of all our parts, how can we accept that they're there, how can we coordinate or transform them in a way that we would prefer to use them in order to arrive at a new integration of ourselves.